Hey guys, it's Chris Pre with Smart Real Estate Coach, and I want to address a real important topic that keeps coming up now, specifically during COVID. It's like floods us between questions and brainstorms, and that is, what do I do with my rentals during COVID? Well, first of all, if you have a rental, you have a rental. I can't do anything about that, but what I will tell you to do, as soon as you can pivot and get tenants out and move to a different strategy, the strategy is stop freaking renting and put tenant buyers and buyers in your homes. Now people say, well, I've had all these discussions, guys, so I know what you're thinking. Well, if it's rent to own, then and you say tenant buyer, then they can still stop paying. Yes, they can by law still stop paying if the government says that, right? I get that. And I'm going to be broad here because I'm not an attorney. But what I will tell you is this. Let me talk about our buyers, not me. If my tenant buyer is in our home, and by the way, during COVID, we have, let's just call it 50 some odd properties, and our associates have another 50 some odd properties. We control a lot of real estate. We can count on one hand how many people are having a problem with default because they have a true challenge with COVID or a true job loss. One hand. Now, why is that? This is super important. Why did I say pivot? Why did I say stop renting? Why did I say change your strategy? Because when a buyer is in your home who needs time to get qualified for a mortgage, or a buyer is in your home who you put on owner financing, so now you're the bank, they are not a tenant. Yes, the tenant laws say a tenant buyer can stop paying because under the tenant laws they're protected, but that doesn't address the option they have to purchase that property. They have to stay current so the bank sees it when they qualify for a mortgage. They have to stay current to exercise their option with you. That's not protected by society and by the government. It's not. Our option is separate, okay? Aside from the mentality of, I'm a homeowner. If I'm a homeowner and I'm under the tenant buyer system, or I'm under owner financing, it's very similar. It's more strict if they're under owner financing because you can foreclose on them, right? Again, laws can protect against that during COVID. I get it. But the fact is the buyer mentality right here is different than a tenant's, and that's why the results speak for themselves. We have two headaches in our own properties of 50 some odd properties. Two during COVID. Why is that? Buyer mentality versus renter mentality. Now, if you missed my video that I did it as part of our Deal Structures Sunday videos, and it's titled Stop Renting Your Property, something like that, or Stop Renting to Tenants. Why am I so strong on this? Because you can take any one of your properties. If it's a rental property you have, try it with one. I challenge you. I urge you to try it with one. Or if it's your own personal residence that you say, boy, I can't sell or I don't want to sell, I want to keep it, smart move. Instead of renting it, why don't you put a rent-to-own buyer in there? Why don't you simply follow our system that helps buyers cash out, not like a lot of mentors teach online. I don't have to call them out on it, but there's a lot of mentors that teach online. Just put tenant buyers in, collect a deposit. If they don't cash out, it's okay. Do it again. It might be okay legally how them and their attorneys very cleverly crafted it. I get it. But morally and ethically, it stinks. That's not what we do, and it's not what we teach. We have a system whereby the buyers that are looking to buy a home that can't now and need time, why? Credit repair, save more down payment, whatever it might be, to get the best loan. They need time. They go through a pre-qual process. They go through a mortgage-ready process and game plan, and then and only then, if that works, do we say, yeah, okay, now you can go into my home. So if you're a landlord now and you're wondering how to make it as recession-resistant as possible, if you're wondering how to make your properties as adaptable to this market as possible, just put tenant buyers in there on the rent-to-own program the way we teach it, or go ahead and owner finance them. Maybe a different video for another time, but you can do that. And when you're talking about the dollars we're talking about, forget the owner financing long-term, 15, 20, 30 years. That's even higher than I'm about to tell you. But our 3 paydays average $75,000. The 3 paydays is a trademark system we have. And payday 1 is the non-refundable down payment when you put them in the home. Notice I didn't say security deposit like your tenants are used to. Security deposit implies they're getting it back maybe. Non-refundable down payment, payday number 1, implies what? They're not getting it back no matter what. So now they're invested into your home. They treat it like it's their home. They pay for things like it's their home. They don't call you. So you never again worry about the maintenance, the filling, the non-pay. You don't worry about that stuff anymore. Payday 2 is the difference between what you're paying on your mortgage, if you have a mortgage, and what your tenant buyer is paying you. They don't get credit for that on their principal. And payday 3 is any and all principal pay down you may have incurred during your process. if you're not already debt free, and the markup you put on the property from what you bought it for. Now, if you've owned this thing for a long time and you're a landlord, great. It's even more lucrative. And if you own it with a mortgage or it's free and clear, you can owner finance eventually your tenant buyer if they pass the smell test. We teach you how to do that. Hey, tenant buyer, make sure that you're on time for the next year. Make sure that all your deposit payday ones are made. And when you do that, guess what? I got a surprise for you. You don't have to go to the bank. We'll owner finance you. You just saved a nightmare of the bank looking up your butt with a microscope and putting you through the ringer with your bank statements and everything else to qualify you. I'm the bank. I can put you in that home. All you gotta do is accomplish those two things and maintain, and we're golden. God, they're so happy when you do that. So I hope that helped. I went into a little bit more than should you rent during COVID, but I want you to understand exactly how to get your fingers on what we do. All our stuff online so that you can do a proper due diligence is free. And a lot of people screaming about what you should buy out there. I'm not screaming about what you should buy. What you should do is, for free, go to smartrealestatecoach.com/webinar. Watch the webinar. In the webinar, in addition to a bunch of free gifts we give you a three-year, $1 million plan. We give you some free PDFs. We give you a 30-something page document on how to dial and speak with expired listings so you can get these properties. I get it that you might own some now, but I can teach you how to get a whole bunch more. And on top of that, you get a free, notice that word again, strategy call. And if you want to jump the gun, not go through the webinar, just go to smartrealestatecoach.com/action, and we'll give you a free strategy call. Let's talk about your portfolio, or let's talk about your plans in real estate, and let's get after this thing so you never have to worry about those landlord crap things again, ever. Make it a great week.